Back at Saints training camp, WWLAMFM.com and the Odyssey app. Steve Geller along with Jeff Nowak and the Cajun Cannon, Bobby Hebert. Big day here today. We had some news about Cam Jordan getting a new 2-year extension. Also, Alvin Kamara addressing the media for really the first time, talking about...
Since he got in trouble, I think.
Yeah.
It seems like it's been months, over a year.
Giving a huge apology, expressing a lot of remorse, and saying basically embarrassed himself, the team. I think it was good for him to come out and get ahead of things. Well, I guess not really ahead of things, but come out and finally give that apology. We hadn't heard from him about it. And one thing, though, he said we still don't know a timeline for when we're going to get any kind of notification from the league.
Yeah, and I think whenever it does happen, he says accepted that already, and he just put it behind him. I'm not worried about Alvin. When he's going to be available, I think he's going to do awesome. Like, for instance, they did he caught a wheel route on the inside. Jeff, we're looking at 7-on-7, beat Zach Vaughn. We'd expect him to beat Zach Vaughn, but I think he won't miss a beat. He'll come in there whenever he's available. He'll be the go-to guy. And he's even talked a little today about Pete Carmichael and really the offensive staff utilizing him even more in the passing game. Get him in space, not just strictly between the tackles. And obviously the other big news, Cam Jordan. And, well deserved. You don't mind paying someone, and they're paying Cam big bucks, so that they're not paying for what he accomplished in the Saints uniform and all the sacks and all, but what he's going to do in the future. And but it's a guy they count on, they trust. If you look, Steve, like you were telling me, $27.5 million, all guaranteed through 2025. And I always like history. The largest contract on average and guarantee for any defensive player in NFL history at the age of 34. Because usually it doesn't happen. You think, because they don't reward you what you've done in the past, and what you could do in the future. And so that shows me right there that they think Cam Jordan still has a lot left in the tank, willing to invest that kind of money in him.
And they even gave him a day off today,
and he accepted it,
which is rare. Yeah, his family was in town. He flew his dad in, Steve Jordan.
I was going to say about it. It was really cool to see his dad there too.
It was, and so with Cam off, we actually got to see a bit more of Tano Passanio, Carl Granderson, and I think they got the first team reps today. I don't think that's an indication that Peyton Turner has fallen off. I think they're just trying to cycle that. Yeah. And I asked Dennis Allen about the rotation. I think that's a big part. Like if you can have Cam be that anchor at left end or right wherever he plays, and then you have that kind of 3-man rotation who you trust across from him, I think that makes a big difference for this team.
Yeah, no, it's going to be, it's not who actually started the game. And I always say this, let's say you don't go into the second quarter, well, you're a starter then, it counts. And so if you get reps, whether it's 15, 20 snaps, whatever, you're a starter on that play. So that's why you need everybody to contribute at a high level. And the one thing they know, Cam's going to be that guy still at a high level. Like Dennis Allen said, and we've always said this, every down player. It's not like, he's gotten weaker against the run, or maybe he's not getting after the quarterback. No, he's going to be amongst the leader in sacks and also tackles for loss and just his run support. So they almost have to tell Cam, okay, we're taking you out the game. Not that we don't think you can do the job, but we don't want you playing 90-some% of the snaps. We want to help you out, not because Cam has a motor that what you see in the first quarter, you still see in the fourth quarter. But I think they kind of looking at the extent of the season, how long it lasts to have him fresh. Because if it'd be up to Cam, he would play 90-some% of the snaps.
We saw another veteran day off for a guy like Michael Thomas today. James Hurst also not practicing. Andres Pete and Calvin Throckmorton.
I did see Hurst walking around. I saw Mike as well. So it is very much a veteran day off. We're not seeing injury issues for them. But the guard position, that's a different story with Andres Pete, Throckmorton, and, well, other than Hurst. And so, we saw Landon Young getting snaps at guard today. That's going to be a position that they're going to have to look at because So,
Jeff, what do you think of Sal DeVere? I mean, and I think that's going to be interesting to see the weeks and the days coming up, the practices coming up. Chiefs preseason game, what he does against, the Chargers and all. So they're going to throw Sal DeVere out there to see if he can contribute right away. Yep. Are we going to have to develop him more? Are they hoping that he can develop quickly and that they can utilize him. You know, I'm actually confident. Maybe I just like him. We talked to Trevor Penning. Man, I hope he works out. He seems like a good old boy, corn-fed from the Midwest. I mean, it just seems like a hard-working football player, and I hope he works out. And to me, I'm not, like I said, we're not worried about his run block. It's going to be, is he patient enough in pass protection to be able to not be overly aggressive, overly, all hyped up. I want to get this guy because, you got to be prepared, whether it's bull rush, speed rush, and hopefully he's developed. And because if he could do that, I think he'll play with a lot of confidence.
That size is not, there's no mistake in that size. I mean, you're a big dude, Bobby, and yeah. I'm looking, we were talking to him today. And it's just
Jeff, I was even looking up. Yeah. Trevor Penning's a giant. Zach Strief always called him a giant. Trevor Penning is also.
Well, great tease because we're going to have Trevor Penning on Sports Talk tonight. Tune in 4 to 8. We're going to be going all into our Saints training camp sound bank. Plenty of stuff from Dennis Allen, Alvin Kamara, Trevor Penning, and more. Plus, go around the NFC South, check in with every team in the division to find out what's been going on in their training camps. Steve Geller along with Jeff Nowak and Bobby Hebert. Take it away.
All right, who dat? Go Saints.